So, welcome to Skills Training. It is the 11th of January, 2021, which is kind of a cool number if you think about it, because we've got a lot of ones happening. We'll have to do some research on what that means. But I am so excited about tonight. And I'll be honest with you, I had a little bit of a moment this afternoon because I knew what I wanted to say, but I had like some shame around it. And I talked to my mom and she helped me out. And so I'll just share with you kind of what's been going on in my heart and how I'm really excited about us moving forward. So, okay. So the Go for No challenge. I'm going to start out with that and get that out of the way because that's the thing that I'm most like. All right. So I was reaching out today and I made my big list. I'll show you. I had this huge long list of names of people and I'm like, I'm going to show up and I'm going to be the leader and I'm going to do what I said to do. And I got to the first name of today and I was like, gosh, I haven't really talked to him in a while. Like I haven't really reached out to him in a while. And I feel a little like, I don't know, it goes against something in me and I couldn't really figure it out, something in me to just go out the gate and be like, hey, do you have any interest in learning about essential oils? Because I've pitched him before, like I've talked to him before, I've sent him for your career before, like something about it was like it's not right. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to do what feels right to me because I'm committed to that. So I reached out to this guy who I bought a car from. This is how I met him. He worked at the Honda dealership and I bought this car from him. I was like, hey, like, how are you and your family holding up in these crazy times? I'm just sending some messages, checking in on friends and family. And you came across me, I came across you and I just want to check in. And he's like, oh my gosh, things are so good. I was like, tell me about that. And he's like, after I sold you a car, I just realized like, man, this girl's out there living her best life. And you inspired me to make a huge change in my career. And I stopped working at the dealership and I ended up going and doing this whole thing like with the mortgage company or whatever. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, that's amazing. I had no idea that like our one day interaction like inspired you like that. And he was like, yeah, you and my other friend, he names his other friend who like has his own business. He's like, you guys just like really, it just was shocking, when I saw how much money you made and like, cause he had to run my credit score and whatever. And I was like, yeah, that's amazing. And I was like touched, and I was like, that's what this is about today. Like it was about connecting with him and him hearing that I had a friend. So I moved to the next name and I'm like, okay, this girl, I'm like, how do I even know her? Because how I've been finding my names is I'll like type in my friends list, like CA, and then I write down all the CA, and then I go to CE and I type out all the, so I'm like not missing anyone. I get to this girl and I'm like, yeah, again, I don't even know how I know her. I'm pretty sure I met her. I'm pretty sure she was my waitress at like a restaurant a few years ago. And I added her on Facebook, like we became friends and stuff. And I was like, it would just be weird if I just went to her and was like, hey, do you have any interest in learning about essential oils if I have no memory of even how I met her? So I sent her the same message. I was like, hey, like how are you doing? How are you holding up in these crazy times? So I'm like, if she was a waitress, like this is going to be crazy. And she was like, oh my God, I cannot believe you just messaged me. Like something crazy happened last night. And just the fact that you reach out, just literally, she's like, I'm in tears. I'm literally like, I can't even believe it. And she's like, here's my number. If you ever need anything, if you're ever in town, like, and I was just like, what is happening? Like, okay, I was feeling this like reservation and I went to my mom in like a slump, like my shoulders were like slumped over and I'm like, Mom, I don't know what to tell everybody because here I am doing this Go for No challenge. And there's something about the cosmos or something right now that, okay, don't hear me wrong. If I were just launching my business and I had never talked to my mom before about essential oils, I could totally go to her and be like, hey, Mom, you want to learn about essential oils? And she could say yes or no. But these people that I'm talking to, I'm like far enough into my like young living, like they know what I'm doing. I've talked to them about it, or we haven't developed that personal relationship. And so I was like, yeah, Paige, I was like, that's what people need right now is they need to feel connected to. And I think we're going to change our strategy halfway through. And I hope that that doesn't come across as like But instead, like, I want to make it easier and more fun and potentially more impactful long term. So here, and I will just say, like, for the people who have already gotten their 100, like, I think you define procrastination exactly. We're going to do a contribution fest, and anybody who can have 100 dialogues with people who are not into essential oils yet, that's where we're going to go. And so if you're like, Bethany, I already got 100 answers and now I feel like you just played me, I'm so sorry, because you'll do amazing and you'll get your reward, I promise. But I think for the majority and where we are in the world right now, and just with the events that have happened this last week and what people are talking about and how they're connecting, what I don't want is for us to go and burn through relationships and be that type of team. I want us to be a team that really goes intuitively with people first and their needs first. And so here's the deal. If you feel like you want to go for no and you want to go get those 100 answers and you feel intuitively like that's what you want to do, heck yeah, go do that. And if you feel like I felt today, that was like, I'd rather have 10 conversations a day with people, and you want to do that, don't even worry about sending screenshots of these people. I don't want you to spend your time on that. I want you to spend time with your kids. I want you to spend time with your family. I want you to spend time with your spouse. I want you to spend time doing what you want. We're going to go honor system. Just send one picture of all the names to that email address. Okay. That's how we're going to do it, because I just want you to know that this is, and we're going to do the mug. We're totally doing the mug. We're giving the OQ mug for the 100 conversations. All right. Glad that's out of the way. I don't know why I felt so much, I don't know, resistance around. Yeah, Bethany Crawford says, my mom always said, the wise man changes his mind, the foolish never. Thank you for saying that, because that's what I felt today. So now we can move on with, I don't know, a little bit more authenticity in our pockets and feel. Yes, I will post this in OQ, and I'm going to do it in the OQ brand partners. Then I'm going to update it, the unit tab as well. That's the January plan. And then we can just spread the word like butter. And I'm really, yeah, I hope this doesn't cause any confusion for anyone. And again, I'm sorry about that. Sometimes I just get excited about something and then halfway in, I'm like, oh, well, you know what? And it'll be great. It's a learning curve for all of us. So I'm releasing this in this moment, and we're going to move into the next portion of our call, which is all about making our business about them and not about us. Okay. So when we're, as Young Living is making some changes, one of the things that they're going to be changing, and if you don't know this, I'm really excited because this is going to change everything for us. They are doing an option to where if someone adds a single product, don't quote me on this because it's just all on my memory. If they do a single option product and they set it up on a reoccurring delivery, then they are considered a member in Young Living, or customer. They're changing the term from member to customer. So a reoccurring delivery would not have to start with a premium starter kit. So what this means for us in our businesses is that we can be niched in the products that we're suggesting and sell that product up front and not sell necessarily the kit. Now, I always think that a kit is a great idea because it sets them up with the 12 oils. You know, if someone's looking to get into oils, that I think is a great idea. But for some of us, maybe we have a different story. Like my mom and I worked for 2 hours today on her brand and like what that is for her. And really, most of the people that she's helping start off with essential oils are going to get 3 things, and they're going to get them every month. They're going to get Thyromin, Endoflex, and Progestins Plus, because that's her niche. Everyone, April, that you help, they're going to get Joy, Super V, and whatever. You are going to have your niche because you have your person that you're going to be working with because of the experiences that you've had in your life. And so what I want to start tonight is a dialogue about who we are going to be serving and who is our niche person, who is the group of people that we believe we can help the most. And I think we all know who it is, kind of, but we're scared to lock ourselves in because we also like other things. We also like, we also like, for me, I know who I want to serve, but then I also like making a certain type of meal that I kind of want to share that too. So, what I am going to challenge us all to do tonight is just come with an open mind, explore the idea of niching down, which means finding a target audience and nailing it with them, identifying what products you would sell to them, with the only goal of coming out of this call into next week's call having a new bio on your Instagram. Okay. So a new bio, when someone goes to your page, they see the little words that are right underneath your, let's see here. They go to your page, they see the words that are right underneath your name. So let's go to J-Lo. She's the first one on my, okay. So J-Lo's a bad example. Let's not use J-Lo. Let's do, this one might be a good one. Let's see. Here we go. Ray Higdon. He is a network marketing coach, and he coaches a bunch of people. And I haven't even read his bio yet. Okay. He coaches a bunch of people, coaches high earners, speaks at a bunch of events. Ray Higdon, Play to Win. I help network marketers make more money. Since 2018, I've helped networkers enroll over 30,000 new customers. That's his bio. Think about who he's talking to. He's not telling you that he's a dad of 3. He's not telling you that he likes vegan food. He's telling you who he's serving. So here's another girl. Her name is Danielle Doan, and she's a friend of mine, and I'm going to have her train on here at some point. When I started following Danielle, she was at 2,000 followers, and she was posting her Beachbody programs pretty much consistently, doing a great job growing her business. But she niched down to make her whole page about curly hair. So she starts doing hair tutorials, niche down about her hair. Her bio says virtually helping women navigate the curly girl method with joy, weight loss without shame, and life with more laughter. Join me here. That's about who she's serving. So I will, Whitney, I will for sure. Please say curly girl. Yeah. And so, yeah, Jen, so this is coming up. I have several niches. Exactly. So if you had, we're going to get as narrow as we can with it still feeling authentic. And what I'm going to do is give you some questions to ask and answer in a breakout session. Okay. So I'll write these down, and I'll also send them into the little chat feature. So here we go. I have a few questions here. When was the last time I felt fully alive? When was the last time I felt fully alive? This is going to be your brand, your perspective, your niche. When was the last time I felt fully alive? Number 2, what were the elements of that? What was surrounding me? What was I doing? Why did those elements bring out those feelings? Another question is, how do others perceive you? So this is just going to be kind of like a, I don't know, overall, let's chat about what we like, who we are, try to share that, and we'll do some more discovery around this, but I'm going to go ahead and do a breakout sessions right now. Sarah, I'm wondering if you're laughing or yeah.
Yeah.
Were you like, whoo? A little bit of laughing and a little bit of I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay. All right. So you are perfect for me because first of all, I know you're fine with me being like that. Second, you're clear for me because I know you so well. And so I know exactly who your niche is. Is it clear for you?
I'm glad you know because I do not.
Okay. So I'll just tell you what I see, and then you can tell me yes or no. If you hate it, it's fine. I see you as someone who is guiding women through the same journey that you went through before you got pregnant with Ruby. So you're talking to I've been trying to get pregnant for 2 years. Every doctor says my hormone labs are fine. And honestly, I feel, Sarah, that you already do this really, really well. And so it's going to be like, okay, this is that. What do you feel about that? First of all, before I like tell you what to do with your life.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's like, those are my people,
Yeah. And you probably had so many people already say, oh my gosh, you've changed my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, no big deal. Okay, so yeah, so Tracy was like feeling the same way, feeling like okay, she's passionate about so many things and she doesn't know which one to go with and doesn't want to lock herself in. And here's where we came to, and I'm no expert at this by any means. I'm just diving in and researching myself. But one of the things that I'm noticing is the people who are diverse in what they want to say usually have an underlying message that's the same. And I know for Tracy, I've been with her enough to know she is that voice who's going to, first of all, stand up for the person who can't stand up for themselves. That is a underlying tone of the way she is. That's just who she is. And Sarah's like, yes. We were bunking together. They all heard me have an allergic reaction and snot my brains out one night. So we're close. And so also she has an encouragement about her, a tone of encouragement. So when we're as far as niching, it wouldn't mean that she could never talk about her kids growing up and going on. It wouldn't mean that she couldn't bring in the other elements of her life. It's just that all of the shareable content, all of the content that someone's going to see when they come to her page, they're going to see that. And then the style in which she does it is going to be her own. Because there's going to be people who are going to be like, the same on paper, they would be the same, but they're not going to touch the same people just energetically as Tracy would, or the same as Sarah would, or whatever. So, and of course, Robin, I'm going to like call you out too, because you're so already clear for me. Is it clear for you who you're serving? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, but then I kind of started the topic, dealing with cancer is forefront. But I talked to a lot of people about hair growth, so kind of a slight variant of
Yeah.
the cancer thing. So I was just talking to your mom about that. Like, I don't know exactly what road I'll go down. Probably like just chemo and stuff, because I do have that conversation a lot with what works, what helps. So it just makes sense.
And I feel like the two go together. So like the hair growth is a popular topic. You feel like that too?
Yeah, even if it wasn't like chemo related. I mean, there's some other relation, or just growing hair out in general.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I love that. Well, I know this is like, and thank you, Sarah and Robin, for letting me like highlight you guys. And I know every single one of you has, and I've actually Shelby and I had a conversation on Instagram the other day too. Same thing of like, okay, how do we niche down enough that it's, but not to where we lock ourselves in. And where I'm at right now with it is if I can figure out what I want, who I want to serve in an audience of here's my hope for them. Usually it's coming from like, okay, for me, I was a mom who was doing laundry and that was the only thing I had going for me. and I was bored and I was like tired and I needed something to kind of like get me out of the house. You know what I mean? So I'm talking to that mom. I know I have two specific people in my following. They're following me, and I'm like, every time I make a content, it is for them. Now I have that clarity. It doesn't mean I can't share my lunch. It just means that my lunch also kind of somehow fits in the sphere of what I want to tell them. I want to tell them that they could quit their job and do something else if they wanted to. That's what that's what I want to tell them. And so when I make my lunch, that is telling them they can make their lunch too, like, because right now they're at the office. So anyway, I don't know if that makes sense at all, but one of the things I was going to say, I'm going to pull up my calendar right now so I can get this out before, is if you're like, okay, I have no idea. Okay, let me start over. Fresh charging orders. Update your Instagram bio and make it about them, not about you. And if you need to work on that, work on that. If you don't know who your niche is and you want a discovery call with me about it, let's just say tomorrow at 11 Central, I'm going to hop on Zoom from 11 to noon Central, which is 12 to 1 Eastern, on the same Zoom link. And I'll also hop on tomorrow at, let's do 6 o'clock Central. So 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central, and then 12 to 1. I'll be on the same Zoom link, and we can do some discovery. There will be no formal agenda. It'll be like one-on-one. We'll just kind of bounce around ideas. Hey, you tell me your story. If there's so many people that it's not like helpful for everyone, I'll just find some more time. So I'll be fine. But I feel like this call has been more of a, hey, let's crack open this big egg of like surprise egg of like, we're going to get the opportunity to help people with a very niche product. So let's be preparing ahead of time to attract those people to us right now. And by the way, I'm just going to say, oh, great idea, Shelby. I just saw that. So niche isn't about what you have wrong with you. You're right. It's about what you've been through and how you can serve on the other side of that. And conversate in the rank tracks. Great idea. Yes, Robin, it's not about who you are today. It's about where you were 2 years ago. That was from a girl who did a call with us earlier about this, Rebecca. She was amazing. So this is just us opening up the conversation in probably what will be a few months journey. And if Instagram and Facebook are not your jam and you're like, I'm doing my thing in person and it's working for me, you can just disregard this call and save it for a rainy day. And thank you for coming and hanging out with the community. So don't feel any judgment around not being in that space. That's fine. That's just where I'm at to take my business to the next level. And I want to welcome anyone else in too. All right. So tomorrow I will be on this Zoom at 11 Central and at 6 Central. And I'll post that in OQ Brand Partners this very moment. Okay. All right. You guys have a wonderful night. Hey, the class in 15 minutes is going to be really fun. I'm going to live stream it to OQ. And it's just going to be a fun, quick class. You're going to love it. So we'll chat soon. Thanks for hopping on, you guys. Have a great night.